So it was about half and half. More of you, I think, tried to want the sushi, the raw fish. In the hands of amateurs, which means people who don't have a lot of experience, both can be dangerous. But people have learned how to use even the food with the most famous stink, rotten fish. So there's ways that you can make rotten fish to eat. Okay, I'm not saying I would eat it or even want to try it, but this is what we've got here. We've got this thing called cha from ancient Chinese. Left to spoil in a milk preparation, different types of fish develop their own, shall we say, peculiar smells and tastes. Aristocrats, which means people up in the higher echelon or level of society, ate cha as a paste or in petal-thin slices. That was how they ate it. Okay, and then there's another one. I think this, maybe we say racqueret. I don't know quite how to pronounce this. There's a letter in here I don't recognize. Looks like an O with a line through it. So I'm not quite sure how we would pronounce that. But you can take a look at it later and see. Modern Norwegians. After several months in salt and sugar, a dead trout gets good and ripe. Sometimes a bit too ripe. So they let it sit in salt and sugar. That's how they prepare it. And then there's another one called garum from ancient Romans. So this is a long time ago, ancient Rome. 2,000 years ago, salty, rotten fish guts were an important part of most gourmet foods. And this one says, I believe this needs more fish guts. It's a chef. And okay, joke's over. Get me out of here. This is fish and salt. And it's, I don't know, Nuoc Mam. It says modern Vietnamese. So in Vietnam, which is a country over there in Southeast Asia. Okay, kind of on the green one. Down where those, kind of where your knee is there on the grape. Yeah. Fish buried in salt eventually digest themselves with their own stomach fluids. The resulting sauce seasons many foods, so it flavors the salt. And you use the, I guess they use the salt in different cooking things that they use. All right, and there's another, the next subtitle is Tsar's Choice. And the Tsar was a leader in Russia. And it says, what would you pay $900 for 1 pound, would you pay $900 for a 1 pound jar of fish eggs taken from a live fish? That's today's rate for the best caviar. Caviar made from golden sterlet eggs was so prized that at one time only the Tsar of Russia was allowed to eat it. So the leader of Russia, like we have a president, Russia had a Tsar. Okay? So only he could eat it at that time. And this guy is saying, may I help you? And this guy, the king, or the Tsar probably, says, yes, I'd like some flour, some sugar, some soda pop, and 2 pounds of caviar. And look at all the money bags that he has. Because it's going to cost him a lot of money. If 1 pound is $900, how much is going to be for 2 pounds of it? Raise your hand if you think you have an answer to that. Yep, what do you think?
$18,000.
Oh, close. 1,800. 1,800, yes. Yeah, 1,800. Okay? So he has to pay a lot of money for that. All right. Now, for this one, the next one we've got, you can look through this one on your own. You've got bird nest soup. And then we've got more than just egg rolls. Tartar sauce. And I'm going to read you this poem, though. We've got a poem, and I love the way they announce that they're going to say a poem. It's a poem in a bowl of soup. Okay, and they wrote a poem, like in the letters of alphabet soup. Raise your hand if you've had alphabet soup before, with the little alphabet letters floating in it. Well, this says a poem in those alphabet letters. Okay? Treasure of the cave. I climbed a cliff on a bamboo pole and stole some nests the birds made more. I stirred them in a boiling brew for stew. How sweet and true. To smile and swallow a swiftlet squishy spittle to sip her gourmet glue. So that's a bird nest stew. You guys can kind of read about that if you want to. So why do you think we're reading some things out of this book? I know some of you have loved this book. Some of you have probably not loved this book. But why would we want to talk about disgusting things around the world? What would be my purpose in showing you this book? I want you to turn and talk to a friend, and then I'm going to see what you think.